So my question is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 37. Either be slain on the battlefield and go to the celestial abodes, or you will gain victory and enjoy the kingdom of earth. Therefore arise with determination, O son of Kunti, and prepare to fight.
Right.
So my question is that what is swarg here?
It has to be seen in context. You see, chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita, Vishad Yoga, is all about Arjun narrating his own concepts. And what are Arjun's concepts? Arjun is a great believer in Lok Dharma. It's only in the first chapter, or mostly in the first chapter, that Arjun comes up with his side of the story. And then the remaining 17 chapters are to prove that these things that you believe in, the Varna Vyavastha, this attitude towards women, this attitude towards your brothers from the other Varnas, which loosely translates into caste today, and your deep belief in superstition. And it is to rebut this problem that the entire Bhagavad Gita is spoken. Bhagavad Gita is a great rebellion against Lok Dharma, against the popular social culture.
Namaste Acharya Ji. My name is Prashant. I am PhD first year student in Material Engineering Department. So my question is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 37. So it says, Hato va prapyasi swargam jitva va bhogashe mahim tasma duttishta konte yuddhaya krut nischayah.
Lovely.
So Sri Krishna is saying to Arjuna,
I'll translate for you. Okay, you translate, yes.
If you fight, you will either be slain on the battlefield and go to the celestial abodes, or you will gain victory and enjoy the kingdom of earth. Therefore arise with determination, O son of Kunti, and prepare to fight.
Right.
So my question is that what is swarg here?
Great.
Thank you, sir.
It has to be seen in context. You see, chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita, Vishad Yoga, is all about Arjun narrating his own concepts. And what are Arjun's concepts? Arjun is a great believer in Lok Dharma. The things that he says, you have to understand them before you can have some real perspective on the Gita. Because the remaining 17 chapters are a response to the first chapter. It's only in the first chapter, or mostly in the first chapter, that Arjun comes up with his side of the story. At other places, Arjun is either reacting or just requesting, you please tell me more, or saying, no, what you are telling, I don't believe in this, why are you confusing me? He doesn't come across in detail. Only in chapter 1 do you find that Arjun is doing bulk of the talking. What does Arjun say? Arjun says, I don't want to fight. Why? If I fight, then most of the Kshatriya men will die. Right? Because from across the subcontinent, armies have assembled here, either that side or this side, and it's going to be a battle to the last man. Everybody will die. And if everybody dies, what happens to the women? What happens to the women? You see the women are young, because these are young soldiers, all of them, and the women are young, and all these Kshatriya men will die. So the women will go to the lower Varnas. Please understand where Arjun is coming from. In the middle of the battlefield, he is thinking about what will happen to the women, and it doesn't stop here. He says the women will go and mate with or marry the other Varnas. What he means is the lower ones, the so-called lower ones in Arjun's eyes. And out of that kind of mating union, Varna Sankars will be born. That's the word he uses, Varna Sankar. Varna Sankar, a kid born outside the prescribed rules of marriage. Prescribed not by Vedanta, but by Lok Dharma. The Dharma Shastras. Dharma Shastras do not come under Shruti. So they do not belong to the league or dimension of Vedanta. So that's a separate thing. So these kids will be born. First of all, that's a very bad thing. Why should kids be born like that? And the problem is now that our forefathers, their jivatmas, their disembodied bodies are all floating around, and they need to be offered water and other offerings in order to keep them happy and placated. But they will not accept anything if these Varnasankars offer them. So what will happen? The Jivatmas of all our forefathers, they will become unhappy. And also they will remain hungry and thirsty. They will not accept any offerings. And this is the problem that Arjun is narrating to Krishna. And it is to rebut this problem that the entire Bhagavad Gita is spoken. Bhagavad Gita is a great rebellion against Lok Dharma, against the popular social culture. So the answer will be a prolonged one. You will have to be patient. Another problem that he says is, these are the people there. And I am prepared to even die for them. Even my guru is standing there. What will I do by gaining a kingdom? By killing all of them. Now that's very peculiar because Krishna is standing next to Arjun. And Arjun is saying, my guru is lined up that side. Do you fathom the depth of ignorance? Krishna is standing next to Arjun. And Arjun is saying, my guru is there. And how do I fight against them? Are you getting it? So social custom, inner fear, the body and the society, both are being quoted as reasons for not taking up the battle. Both are being quoted as reasons for not taking up the battle. And then the remaining 17 chapters are to prove that these things that you believe in, the Varna Vyavastha, the women should not. You see a peculiar attitude towards women here? Do you see that? Do you also see a peculiar attitude towards the so-called lower Varnas? Do you see that? Do you also see superstition here? The Bhagavad Gita is a stunning statement against all of these. This attitude towards women, this attitude towards your brothers from the other Varnas, which loosely translates into caste today, and your deep belief in superstition, that's what Bhagavad Gita is for. To demolish these social concepts. Unfortunately, even millennia after the Bhagavad Gita was uttered or composed, the same things continue to exist in society. The same attitude towards women, the same attitudes towards other castes, the same prevalence of superstition, and the same inner ignorance. Arjun will not say that I am arrested, paralyzed because of my physical attachments. He will not say. He is talking of all these things. And the same kind of mental superstition and physical attachments exist even today. That's why the Gita continues to have its relevance. Now, how does Krishna begin to explain Arjun and drive away all these random concepts from his mind? Chapter 2 is Sankhya Yoga, the highest exposition of knowledge. Sri Krishna says he didn't intend, probably, if you look at the situation, and if we accept that it has at least a historical dimension to it, even if it's not accurately historically depicted, if we accept that there is a historical dimension to it, I don't think that in the battlefield or even near to the battlefield, the narrator would have aimed to narrate 18 chapters. You are in the middle of a battle. You are not here to educate someone. It's not a particular ashram. It's not a university where you are lecturing. So he probably wanted to finish it off fast. So he gives it his best shot right away. Early on. Chapter 2 is the highest. And it fails on Arjun. Arjun says, no, I don't understand anything. I don't agree. I'm not going to fight. This is not good. Krishna sees that. He sees that practical narrator. You see, it's not succeeding on him. Chapter 3, things are diluted and the concept of karma comes in. Chapter 2 is all about realization. Chapter 2, he doesn't say, this particular action you must embrace, Arjun. Chapter 3, he starts talking of Nishkam Karma, the level of action. He says realization is presently not working on him. He probably is right now not ripe enough. So he talks of the level of action. Even that fails. Even that fails. In fact, Arjun starts saying, if you say, that's after Krishna educates him on Gyan. You know what Arjun says? He says, if Gyan is everything, if realization is everything, then why are you pushing me into this terrible battle? Gyan to mil gaya. And you say Gyan is the highest. So now you have given me Gyan, now let me go away, I don't want to fight. Krishna says, it's complicated. So then comes chapter 4. And in chapter 4, he says, I'll have to get down to where Arjun is. And Arjun is a firm believer in the Varnavavastha, the concept of being honorable, respectable, noble. So here we find Krishna using all these tools. He says, if you don't fight, what will people say of you? You believe so much in the concept of Jivatma and Swarg and Nark. So why don't you fight and honorably proceed to Swarg if you die fighting? And then he says, either agree to this or this or this. What are these three levels? These are the three levels of Vedanta. The top level is Paramarthic level. At Paramarthic level, dude, nothing exists at all. So why are you so full of grief? Nobody is going to die because there is nobody. This Arjun refuses to understand. We are talking of chapter 4 and 5 here. Arjun refuses to understand the top-notch argument. The top-notch argument is that at the highest non-dual level, everything is an illusion, nobody exists. So who are you mooning for? Nobody is the killer and nobody gets killed. Let spontaneous action unfold. Why are you so much in grief and guilt? Nothing. Arjun refuses. Then comes the Vyavaharik level. At the Vyavaharik level, there is just the nature, the Prakriti. All this is there. All this is there. Sans that imaginary thing called the ego. And in nature, in Prakriti, birth and death are continuous. Waves arise, waves fall. Trees are all the time shedding leaves, and all the time new leaves are appearing on trees. So birth and death are a continuous process. So again, there is no reason for grief. Arjun refuses to understand even this argument. Or probably he is understanding, but he is so full of attachment and so full of what the social concepts, the manyatas, the beliefs have been, that he just doesn't want to act. Then Krishna gives this pratibhasik level argument. You are a Kshatriya. He has to tell him you are a Kshatriya because he does not understand that he is the Atman, the truth. He also refuses to understand that he is just one of this species where all are just like waves of the seas with no genuine material difference between them. If you look at the ocean, waves are rising and falling. And in some way, every single wave has an individuality. No wave is exactly alike other waves. Yet we know that fundamentally all waves are the same. So thereby there is no reason to grieve the death of a particular wave because all waves are just alike. Arjun refuses to buy even that. Then, as a tactician, as a Rananitikar, Krishna comes to where Arjun is standing. He says, fine, you are not Atman, you are not even Prakriti, then you are a Kshatriya, right? Arjun, that's what you take yourself to be, Kshatriya? Right, fight. Because if a Kshatriya does not fight, then it is not honorable and noble for him. You die fighting or you emerge victorious. So it is in that context that the concept of Swarg comes in. That does not mean that Krishna is endorsing the concept of Swarg and Nark. He is just bringing it down to Arjun's level. Getting it? And these arguments, they follow each other, one after the other. These verses, they come right one after the other. But one particular verse would be chosen selectively to prove that the Gita is what it is just not. Similarly, when he says that I decide, I am the one who has decided varnas based on your guna and your chetana, karma, then it is forwarded as an argument that the Varna Vyavastha is divinely ordained, whereas it is exactly the opposite. Krishna is saying it depends on your quality and your choices. It depends on you. Who am I? He does not say that I have said that you will be this, you will be that. He says you decide what you want to be, it's all yours. If you want to fall into a rut, that's your choice. If you want to fly there, you decide. Your nature is to fly. But you can turn yourself into an earthworm and just become a crawler. Getting it? So whenever you find Upanishads, Gita, any other scripture, and not just an Indic scripture, even stuff from outside, or even philosophers, including modern philosophers, Russell, Sartre, anybody, when you find them being quoted, quotations you must always be very skeptical of. Quotations are very, very dangerous things. Because a quotation means that out of the entire work, the entire over of a writer or a speaker, somebody has selectively picked up 2 lines and is presenting them to you with some specific purpose. Be a reader. Be a reader. Don't be a quote hunter. Quote. See, this quote. Quotes are always suspicious, especially when they are not accompanied by references. Always ask for references. Where is it coming from?